Your teen hides their phone the second you walk into the room. Their shoulders tense, their eyes drop, and suddenly you're wondering, am I making this worse by trying to keep them safe? A major US study found that the most common monitoring style parents use is actually the one most likely to damage trust and increase risky online behavior. So, let's talk about the monitoring mistakes that quietly push teens away and how to fix them. Parenting a teen in the digital world feels impossible sometimes. You're trying to protect them from things you never had to deal with at their age. Meanwhile, they're trying to prove they can handle things on their own. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Child and Family Studies followed 248 U.S. parents of early adolescence. The research team included experts from UC Irvine, Harvard Medical School, and the Wellesley Centers for Women. Their question was simple: which monitoring approaches actually keep kids safe, and which ones quietly destroy trust? And the answer surprised a lot of families. The researchers found that parents tend to fall into three general monitoring styles. The first one is restrictive monitoring. The tight rules, the constant oversight, the surprise phone checks, the feeling of, I'm keeping tabs on everything. The second style is active mediation. Staying involved through conversation, talking with your teen, asking questions, helping them think through online situations instead of policing them. And the third style is autonomy-supportive monitoring. Setting expectations together, agreeing on rules, trusting them with some independence, and staying connected without hovering. Here's the part that makes every parent pause. Teens under the strictest approach, restrictive monitoring, were the most likely to show problematic online behavior. Not the kids with more freedom, not the kids whose parents talked with them. The strictest kids had the toughest outcomes. Meanwhile, teens who experienced active mediation or shared independence showed stronger trust, more honesty, and healthier online behavior. And that points to 6 big monitoring mistakes parents make, usually without realizing it. Let's walk through them. Mistake number 1: controlling instead of communicating. Most parents start here. We set tight rules, we lock things down, we check phones, we supervise everything. The goal is protection, but the teen doesn't feel protected. They feel controlled. And when a teen feels controlled, they start hiding things. Not because they're bad people, but because they don't feel trusted. The study found exactly that. Restrictive monitoring was linked to the worst online outcomes. Switching to communication flips the dynamic. Ask where they spend time online. Ask what they enjoy. Ask what stresses them or feels confusing. When you move from control to conversation, your teen stops bracing against you and starts letting you in, because feeling understood makes hiding feel unnecessary. But communication alone isn't enough if you make the next mistake. Mistake number 2: surprise. Phone checks with no shared framework. This one happens everywhere. A text pops up. Something feels off. You ask to see their phone just for a second. In your mind, you're doing your job as a parent. In their mind, you've just crossed a line. Unpredictable checks feel like ambushes, and ambushed teens become secretive teens. A better approach is transparency. Tell them how phone checks work in your home. Tell them when checks happen. Tell them why they happen. Tell them what stays private. Once monitoring feels predictable instead of sneaky, they stop worrying about being blindsided, and the instinct to hide things drops dramatically. However, trust still falls apart when parents focus on the wrong thing. Mistake number 3: monitoring the device instead of the context. Most parents watch screen time, app lists, notifications, and browsing history. But the study shows that what really matters is what's happening inside those spaces. A teen can follow every time limit and still be overwhelmed by group chat drama. They can obey your rules and still feel excluded, pressured, or anxious online. They can play by the rules while something stressful is happening in private messages. Monitoring minutes and apps is like checking the temperature and ignoring the storm clouds. Start asking about context. Ask who they talk to. Ask how those conversations feel. Ask which online spaces feel safe and which feel tense. When you care about how their online world feels, not just how long they're on it, your teen starts trusting you with the truth. And once they trust you with the truth, you can actually help. but even emotionally aware parents get stuck if they make the next mistake. Mistake number 4. One-size-fits-all monitoring that ignores maturity. A rule that feels perfectly reasonable for a 12-year-old can feel controlling or even insulting to a 15-year-old. Teens grow fast, socially, emotionally, and mentally. If your monitoring stays frozen while they're changing, they'll feel misunderstood. The study found that parents naturally shifted their monitoring style as kids matured, and those families had the healthiest relationships. You don't have to toss out all your rules, just update them. Try asking, what rules still make sense? What rules need to change? What responsibility have you shown lately? What should we adjust now that you're older? When teens feel recognized as growing people, they act more responsibly, because being treated like you're maturing makes you want to live up to it. But even flexible rules fail when the meaning behind them isn't clear. Mistake number 5, setting rules without explaining the why. No phones in the bedroom. No phones after 10. No group chats you can't show me. These rules are familiar to every household, but when there's no explanation, your teen hears one message: you don't trust me. The study found that active mediation, the approach linked to the best outcomes, always includes explanation. Not lectures, just reasons. This is about your sleep. This is about avoiding drama you don't need. This is about keeping you safe. This is about protecting your mental health. A rule with meaning stops sounding like control and starts sounding like care. And teens push back much less when they understand the purpose behind a boundary. And that leads to the most powerful shift of all. Mistake number 6, creating rules for your teen instead of with your teen. This is the difference between cooperation and conflict. Many parents sit down, write a list of rules, and hand it to their teen. It feels clear and responsible to us, but it feels controlling and dismissive to them. The study found that families who co-created expectations, the autonomy-supportive approach, had more honesty, less conflict, and stronger trust. Collaboration doesn't mean giving up your authority. It means sharing the process. Sit down and create a simple family media agreement together. What gets monitored? What stays private? When check-ins happen? What consequences make sense? What feels fair to both sides? When teens help design the rules, they don't feel like they're being managed. They feel like they're part of something. And feeling part of something is what turns resistance into responsibility. Here's the big thing to take away. Teens don't lose trust because of technology. They lose trust because of how we monitor technology. A monitoring style based on fear pushes them away. A monitoring style based on conversation, context, maturity, meaning, and collaboration brings them closer. If you want one simple place to start tonight, try asking your teen, what's one monitoring rule that feels unfair? And why? You might be surprised by how honest they are when they feel heard. And if this video helped, tap like, hit subscribe, and comment below. Which monitoring mistake surprised you the most?